Come with me to explore the world of dance one step at a time as we talk about different topics such as UDA Nationals, dance studio drama, and different styles of dance. From ballet to hip-hop, contemporary to tap, dance is a universal language that speaks to the heart and connects us all. Hello and welcome to Dance Floor Diaries. On this episode, we'll cover a day in the life of a dancer versus a non-dancer. Lace up your shoes because today we're stepping into two different worlds. I'm here with Addison Soltes. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Addison Soltes.
Do any sports or anything?
Yeah, I play volleyball and track and field.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare being a dancer with being a volleyball player and running track. So let's start off with step one, your daily routine. What's your daily routine?
Okay, so my daily routine mainly just starts by just getting up bright and early in the morning, feeling nice, refreshed. Got to get the track bag packed. Make sure we have the spikes instead of the ballet slippers or whatever they're called. We got to make sure we have our track outfits, our nice shorts, and our t-shirts so we don't get our tan lines. But as you can see, we're outside for track and inside for ballet and dance.
Yeah, so our morning routines look a little different. I'll wake up and I'll just get everything ready. I'll get dressed and I'll make sure I have my dance bag packed. And if my mom needs to take it, I'll make sure she has it in her car so that after track, she'll just pick me up and just bring me there. I don't really pack anything in there. Just make sure I have all my shoes and then my any snacks if I need snacks. And then in my track bag I just have my spikes, anything I need. And yeah, I try to not forget anything.
But typically if we're not talking about track and field, a typical day for when I'm doing volleyball, I have way more stuff I have to worry about because normally you don't want to get hurt and because during volleyball you can really get injured, the ankles, the knees, anything. But so typically I'll have my knee pads, I'll have my ankle supporters, I'll have my what are they're called, you put on these compression sleeves so you're not getting burns and stuff. And then you have your jerseys if we're doing scrimmages, and and you always have to wear a different color every single day to match the whole team. So that's pretty much a really big difference with me and Brianna when it comes to dance and volleyball.
What do you typically wear for volleyball practices?
So on Mondays, everyone has to wear red and we'll have to wear black shorts, and we'll all wear black knee pads, and then our obviously our tall socks, we don't get the burns on the ankles, and then just a thick compression kind of bounce Nike shoe or anything that's good support for the ankles. And then everyone has their their sleeves and stuff. Typically we all wear the same thing every day.
Yeah. To compare that at dance, I have to wear all black because it's a competition rule. Before you were talking about injuries, how do you prevent those injuries?
Okay, so typically our coach makes us stretch for at least about 30 minutes because a lot of the players on the team have been out for seasons or time short time periods, but still it makes an impact on their season because once you get hurt, you never know if you're gonna be back at your full potential. And for my experience, just starting volleyball, this was my first year starting volleyball in high school because my freshman year I played soccer, and literally the start of volleyball, I'm very prone to getting injuries. So I had gotten knees, so my knees started to fill up with fluid and stuff, and which are clearly my knee pads weren't doing enough, and just from the falling, the diving, hitting it wrong from different angles. If you quickly fall down on one knee, try to catch a ball and stuff. But typically a lot of players get hurt from jumping, coming up and then coming down, landing on the ankles, hitting them wrong, or just going into a position that the body just can't handle. Muscle strains are always very often on the team, and me and Brianna are always using our BioFreeze for our strained muscles. And Yeah, volleyball, a lot of the teams, like the players get a lot of injuries just from like the contact on the floor and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like with track and dance, it's kind of like similar. I feel like some people don't know how to handle their injuries well, like shin splints. Yeah. They just like complain and they're like, oh, I can't run, yada, yada, yada. But yet they're just like, they're not fixing it and like helping anything.
Yeah, you would think you want to like get better. So like in like, typically everyone says stretch. Stretch those muscles, those ligaments, because if you're not doing the things to prevent that, you're prone to getting shin splints, muscle strains, just like pain anywhere in the body if we're not like taking care of the body, like what it needs. Here's
a break to hear from our ad. Hey everyone, are you ready to step up and join the CHS dance team? Do you have passion for dance, want to be part of an energetic and talented group? Well, the CHS dance team is the perfect place for you. Whether you're an experienced dancer or someone who simply loves to move, we invite you to join our team. Why should you join the dance team, you ask? The dance team performs at pep rallies and halftime shows to show off your skills in front of an audience and feel the thrill of success as you represent your school. The CHS dance team isn't just about dancing, it's about building strong bonds with your teammates to help push each other to be the best we can be. Our team is all about having fun and lifting each other up. We believe in creating a positive space where dancers of all skill levels feel welcomed and encouraged to improve. Whether you're struggling with a move or mastering a routine, you'll always have a support system by your side. We have weekly practices on Tuesdays and Thursdays with a mix of cardio days on Mondays from 3 to 4:30 in the pack. Ready to join? It's time to make your move. Dance is not just about steps, it's about passion and being part of a community that supports each other. Are you ready to feel the excitement, rhythm, and the pride of being a member of the CHS dance team? If you have any questions or want more information, reach out to Senorita Day or visit room 506. Join now. Welcome back. How do you manage your social life with doing sports?
Okay, so typically during the week is when, so right now we're in track season, so we have it from Monday to Friday. Randomly we'll have meets on the weekends, but typically they start really early in the morning, and I'll still have my afternoon and night left. So typically during the week I always put my hours towards sports and schoolwork because I'm not like having sleepovers. I'm not like, my mind's like isn't getting taken away from like my sports, like with my friends. So typically I just keep my week open to my sports and wait for my weekend to come, and that's when I get to have own like free time and
like time to hang out with your friends.
Yeah. But typically during the week is the sports and school.
I can relate with that. Like with my social life, it's kind of like harder because I feel like I have dance every day, and it just like runs to such a late time. So like it also like ties into like a mental part of it. Like sometimes I just need like a mental break, but I can't like be skipping classes because it's like not the same as like just skipping school and like just not going to school or whatever. So like I have to show up and like be at those classes. So like even if I'm having a bad day, I have to be there. So it's like I really hate it because like it's hard to balance my social life and dance because I have dance Monday through Thursday. So it's like hard to go out and do things like after school when I'm actually free to like just have a good time because I have dance to worry about at night. And then I have to come home and I have to do my homework, yada, yada, yada. And then like over the weekends, I feel like I'm free. But then there's like track meets and like stuff like that. So it's like it's kind of hard to do that too. So I try and like do like the best that I can to like hang out with whatever and do whatever, but it's like also hard.
Yeah, if we're not like with you, like if you're having like you're always coming home at like the time you're in bed is like 11 o'clock. And like that's the time like we need to like go to bed, but normally like you want to have like a few hours like to yourself just to like relax and like, you know, just de-stress from the long day. But like typically it's just the same constant like thing every day. I go to school 7-8 hours a day, go to track practice from 2:45 to 4, and then dance practice right after that until like what, 9 o'clock some nights. And then some nights it's even longer depending on like if they have comp or just like routines they need to get down. So normally like I can see the mental health with that.
How do you manage your mental health with like doing what you do?
Normally it was like harder with when I was doing like volleyball track, not so much because I get out like way earlier, and like we get out at like 4:30 every day. So after that I just have like a few hours to myself. But during volleyball season, I would have like games almost every single day, and I wouldn't get home till like 9-10 o'clock, and that would just leave me. I need to shower, eat, do homework, and then that leaves me like I'll be done at like 12:30. It was like 12:31 some nights, and I'm only getting a few hours of sleep just to do it all over again. So it really like took a toll on me because I wasn't getting like all the rest I needed, and I wouldn't be like motivated for the day. And then just like impacted like my work stability and like how much I could do in a day. So it really just took a lot. Like sleep is a big part of like our day and like how I get through it, because I notice it in like a lot of kids too. Like when they don't get enough sleep, like their mind capacity throughout the day is just like not there, and the teachers just expect a lot out of us. But a lot of the students, just in general, they have sports and they have lives out of school, obviously. But normally like I just like don't have a lot of time to myself like during volleyball season. It just work, sports, homework every single day. And then even on weekends I would barely have any free time. I would have practices on Sunday at like 7 in the morning until like 9:30. And then sometimes they would want like only certain players to come in like at certain times. So then it just throws off your whole day. Like, so you basically just have to like leave your whole day open to volleyball because you never know when you're going to have to go in and play.
Yeah. One thing like I struggle with is like motivation. Do you like struggle with your motivating yourself, or like how do you get through these burnouts?
I just get through them by like, mainly it's the players. It's the people around me. I play with like a lot of my players, so like they're always like hard on me. They're like you got this, like, you know, like you're able to do more than like what like you give on your hard days. Like you're more than the bad days, you're more than the times you're like you feel like you're not doing good, or you're being like lazy some days, or just like anything that like takes you down. Like I always have those players, even my coaches. I have a good relationship with my coaches, so they know like I'm like I could be at my full potential, and then some days I cannot, but I still like put forth like good effort, because you know you don't want that to like affect you when you know like that good player or good sports person like you are in general. But definitely it takes a lot to really get out of like a mental state, because mental state is like really like it takes a big toll on people, and it's just like really hard to come out of if like you're just busy all the time and you don't have time to cope with it yourself. But mainly it's just all about like the people around you and them just like supporting you and helping you get through it, which was like a big way for me to get through it with volleyball.
Yeah, I know my mom, like, she noticed it with me because she wants me to do, like, less with dance next year because she notices that dance is, like, taking over my life. And she, like, sees it on the mental side of me. So she wants me to, like, take a break and, like, actually do what I love. Yeah. Because I hate to say it, but I'm, like, losing my passion for dance. And, like, as I get older, I feel like I'm not being pushed enough, like, or I'm being pushed too much because they, like, my coaches, they expect so much of us, but, like, at the same time, they have to, like, cope with us and understand that we have school during the day. So to be at dance late at night and expect so much of us, it's, like, a lot to ask for. Yeah. And then to be there for, like, countless hours just to get screamed at, it just, like, puts us down so much. Yeah. And then, like, some things that they say just, like, hurts us. Yeah. I know, like, some people are questioning coming back next year, so it's, like, really bad. But I can't, like, be the one to leave because I have to, like, I just feel bad. Like,
I know. Like, you feel guilty because you've been alone there for so long. And, like, you've given forth, like, so much effort and just, like, overall your time.
Like, I know my parents, they, like, my dad is definitely, like, influencing me to leave for it to be better for me. But, like, I just can't do that. Like, thank you for joining me on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for listening to this episode on Dance Floor Diaries, comparing a day in the life of a non-dancer and a dancer. Tune in next time on Dance Floor Diaries. You can stay up to date by following us on CHS Soundbox, and see you in the next episode.